Welcome to the video demonstration of Conexus, a code migration tool for Oracle EBS and innovation from Technevo Solutions. As an Oracle EBS user, you may have come across several situations where you need to migrate code for custom components, and we're going to show you how Conexus is going to help you with that. So when you purchase Conexus, you get a custom responsibility, Technevo Conexus, which has access to the tool. The first time you open it, you're going to see a message saying that the configurations are not done, and that's normal. After the splash screen, you click on New, and then you hit Configure, and here you enter the name of your organization. So I'm just going to put Technevo Demo Company, and then it asks you to choose between a DBA directory and a UTL file directory. So in my case, I'm using a DBA directory. It's easier than having something in the UTL file there. And I enter the app's password and the custom top where I want to generate files that Conexus is going to create. So files will be like LDTs or SQL scripts for request group attachments. So it's going to put all these files in that custom top that you designate. So when you open it up, it's giving you a nice little find screen where you can search by object number, description, the name of the developer, the code file name. So if you just have the package name or the file name, you can search based on that. And, let's look at how we create a new package. So the object number I'm just putting in as D001. This should be a tracker for your organization. So it might be a Jira ticket number, whatever it may be. You put in the name of the developer who's worked on that. You put in some kind of a description, and the notify to, and that's going to basically be the developer's email ID so that he gets notified when it's migrated. You hit on save, and you can see it's come out with the name of the install script. Of course, you can go and edit that, so I'm going to do that right now. And let's look at what types of migration it can handle. So there's a large list there: file copy, apps compile, custom compile, forms compile, WF load, and so on. And within FND load, of course, it's capable of handling a variety of objects, which we're going to look at. So let's go one by one. File copy. Now that's just the copy of file. It's just a simple copy operation. You would use this for, let's say, your reports, your RDF files, which you just need to copy into a directory on the destination server. And obviously it needs to be done in binary mode. When you choose file copy apps compile, that's basically going to copy the file to the directory, and it's also going to try and compile it in the apps schema. So you use this for all your package spec, body, procedures, functions, things like that. And then there's the option of custom compile as well. So in custom compile, you generally use this for your staging tables, which you'll probably create in a custom schema. So what it does is basically it copies your file to the destination directory, and then it tries to compile it using that particular custom schema. So in my case, that's XXTN. Then there's form compile. So let's say you have FMB files that need to be migrated. This is the way you should do that. And what you basically do is copy your file and then use the frmcmp command to try and compile it. And WF load, as the name suggests, is for your workflows, your WFT files, when you want to upload them to the database. So we have a custom version of the Oracle workflow, which we're going to migrate. Soft link, now that's for prog files. So when you create a host type of executable, you put it in the bin folder, and you basically need to link it with the FND top bin executable. So that's what it's going to do. And we'll see the result of all this when we actually see the end result of what Conexus comes out with. And now in F&D load, you can actually see there's a whole variety of things you can migrate. You know, programs, profiles, AOL, form, function, XML, and things like that. So it basically handles almost everything that F&D load supports. So let's say we want to migrate a concurrent program. So that's my concurrent program. It's going to come out with the LDT name. And if my concurrent program's also got some XML publisher data definition tied to it, so I'm going to put that in there. And then let's say I want to attach this program to a request group. So it's a concurrent program. You can also attach request sets. So you F&D load the request set, and then you can create a script. In this case, it's my report. I'm going to attach it, let's say, to System Administrator Reports. So it's going to create a SQL script which actually does that. And in a similar way, we have things for menu as well. So you can attach a form to a particular menu. So I'm going to attach my custom or any function. Let's say an AOL function. I'm going to attach it to a menu, so it's going to create a SQL script for that. I can add more rows. XML publisher. Now this is unique. I mean, this allows you to migrate the lobs actually. So your RTFs and your XMLs from data template. As you can see, that's what it's trying to migrate. It's trying to migrate your XML file from the data template, and it can even migrate RTFs. Basically, all the lobs that XML publisher uses. So I don't want to migrate the XSL, I want to keep the RTF. So there it is. It's going to migrate my RTF. And foreign language AOL and advanced collections, these may not really apply to you. So if you want more information on those things, you can go through the user guide of Conexus. They're basically very specialized areas for handling AOL, which has foreign language text in it. So F&D load can't handle that, so we're handling that separately. So once you're done entering everything, you hit the create migration doc, right? And here you can see there's a source path and a version number. So the source path is usually going to be like the path in your version control system. So in my case, I have PVCS. So that's where I've checked in these files, and I know what the version number of all of them is. So it's going to be 1 in my case because I'm checking them in the first time, and I'm going to put the path. Of course, if you don't have a version control system, you can just leave the source path as blank and just put 1 in the version number for all the files. We'll see how this is going to help you later on in further stages of Conexus. Now you hit the generate button. Here's where the magic's going to happen. You can see it tells you can get a README file, you can get a zip file. So let's hit generate again. I'll show you what that README file looks like. So that README file is basically this. It's a HTML file which has a list of all the files and what's their description, what's their purpose, things like that. So this can be useful for your developer or your DBA. And you can hit generate again and get zip file this time, right? And now we'll see what that zip file actually contains. There it is. So it has a whole list of LDTs, it has some SQL scripts in it, and it has a shell script. As you can see, the demo install.sh. Now that's the script that we're looking at. And you can see it's come out with an entire shell script. It's going to first check that all the files that you want to migrate are there in the zip file, and it's going to ask you to enter the app's password, the custom schema password, because we want to compile something in the custom schema. And of course, if you didn't have anything like that, it wouldn't ask you. And then it also creates an audit table. Now that audit table is useful for you to track which object migrated on which date, what is the file, and things like that. So you can see it actually makes a backup of the file before it copies it. and then it copies your file into the specified directory. So all the DBA's got to do actually is take the zip file that Conexus gives the developer and unzip that in your destination instance, and he executes this particular shell script, and your custom object has been migrated from your, let's say, your development instance to your UAT or your SIT instance in a single click. So there's no more going through manual steps of creating tables, packages, concurrent programs. Everyone knows AOL, creating AOL components is a real headache. So it's going to automate all of that for you, and because it's automated, it also reduces the chances of you making errors. It's always going to make backups of the file before it overwrites them. It's always going to compile in the right schema, and it's also maintaining a very nice audit in the audit table. So you can always go back and look at who migrated it. And there it is, the soft linking part. So that's what I was talking about. It's creating the soft link. And these are the LDTs that it created, right? So it's doing an F&D load. And after doing that, it's actually going to check whether that program got created or not. And the same thing with the data definition as well. It's going to check in the XDO tables to see if it's created or not. So you will know that if that F&D load worked fine, then it's going to report success. But of course, if the F&D load didn't work, it's going to fail. And you can always see that. And these are the SQL scripts that were automatically generated for menu attachment, request group attachment. And that's the XML file. Now that XML file, it's actually downloaded from the XML publisher module, and there you see it's using the XDO loader class to actually do the upload. So it can upload all the log types that are supported in XML publisher. So no more manual screenshots in your document asking the DBA to go and manually upload documents. And at the end of it, it sends out the email to the developer. And there you can see it. All right, now let's say you still need a document, right? You still need an MD120. You don't have to write an MD120. You can get it out of Conexus. So you click on print. It submits a concurrent request. Click OK. View requests. And there you have it. It's submitted a request. Now click View Output. And you get an RTF file. And look at that. That's an AIM methodology MD120 document that's come out of a tool. No one's had to write it. It's come straight out of Conexus. And it has all the instructions in it. So if you need to follow the AIM methodology, it's going to give you a proper MD120. So no one's going to write it anymore. So you can see how much time it's going to save you. Thank you for your interest, and do get in touch with us. Bye.